Yo, what's happening? Sunday night, Cinco de Mayo. I don't have any Festivus type stuff going on, so you'll just have to believe me that it's Cinco de Mayo. We're celebrating. Yay. Yeah. What's going on, guys? We had a good little weekend of fights, we must say. There was a little boxing event. Canelo fought, but again, boxing's dead. It's so dead. It's so unpopular. We talk about it almost every week, but yeah, it's totally dead and not popular. Whatever garbage nonsense these promoters have put into people's heads about, the problems with boxing, blah, 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 blah. It's like, whatever, man. It's nonsense. Like, they've been saying boxing's been dead for over 100 years. It's a broken record. Is baseball dead? Is baseball dead? Because it's not. It's like is as mainstream as it was in the 50s and the 40s or 20s or whatever. Apple pie and baseball. That was America back then. Not today. People wouldn't really relate baseball in America so much today, but it's still a huge sport. They make crazy money. But whatever. Small-minded people. We watched it. We watched the Canelo fight. I didn't catch much of the undercard because I was focused on I was double screening it. And I was putting my focus on the UFC. There were some decent fights in the UFC. It was kind of a sleeper card, but I think there were some good fights on there, honestly. And I liked a lot of the there's a lot of younger guys on that card, I think, coming up that might be pretty good. So that's good. Fight in Rio. I got the fight down in Rio. That was a good time. So we'll get into the UFC and we'll get into Canelo and the boxing. And then since, I was watching the boxing last night, I was like, I need to expose my sons to like great fights just to, because I always got a lot of fights on, but I haven't really made them like watch like great ones. So I was like, I should probably start showing them some boxing fights and some other stuff just to show them like real fights, good fights, legendary fights. So then when I start trying to do that. Today we watched Gotti and Ward, the first fight, the first Gotti Ward fight, and we watched Hagler and Hearns. We watched Hagler Hearns, which was nonstop action for the 3 rounds that it lasted. And then the Gotti Ward fight it's just ridiculous. And if you guys have not seen that fight, it was 2002, it's like 22 years ago. Go watch that fight, man. That's inspirational to watch guys just sit down and bite down hard on their mouthpiece and throw hard punches. It was great. The way that Canelo was moving in and out, making the guy miss, reminded me of one of my old favorite fighters, still one of my favorite fighters ever, Emmanuel Augustus, the Drunken Master. And we're going to talk about him a little bit, I think, at the end. We got some time. Let's get into the fights. UFC. Early prelims. I didn't catch all the early prelim fights. The kid had a football game, his last football game of the spring season. And I was driving, so I didn't get to really see a lot of the fights. I did see Mauricio Rufy and Malarkey. That was probably when I first started being able to pay attention. Malarkey is a solid fighter, but Rufy, I don't know if they're setting him up to get him going. Yeah, I think this might have been, it was Rufy's first UFC fight. So they were definitely, hoping he would get the win over Malarkey here, obviously. Pulled it off, got the KO at the end of round 1. He looked good, good in whatever the 442 that I just got to see him. Milwaukee really couldn't put much together. Ruffy was a very good athlete. I think this is the guy who trains with the Baralo, who fought the main card. And I think that's the guy. And I like these guys. They're talking about fight nerds. They're the fight nerds. And I like that. I like that mentality. They're not taking it too serious, or they're like, oh, we're the biggest, baddest, toughest. Ooh, we're tough guys. You're playing a sport and they're having fun with it. They call themselves fight nerds. They got their nerdy glasses on. I think Baralo had those on too after his fight, and having DC put them on, having him wear that. I like what those guys are doing. I think he was a part of that crew. But yeah, he looked good. He looked good. We might have to loosen my. There we go. He looked good. It'll be interesting to see more from him. He looks like he's with a good camp, Brazilian guy. So we'll see what's up with Ruffy. I haven't heard of him fighting anywhere else. If you guys have any deets on that, let me know. Joaquim Silva was the next fight, and Drakkar Close. If Drakkar needs a nickname, maybe he should go with Noir. Drakkar Noir Close. That was the scent back in 8th grade, bro. Drakkar. They were hyping up Silva a lot for this fight. At least the commenters were, as the fight was progressing. But Close, first round, walked Silva down, backed him into the cage, beat him up, was doing good on the stand-up. Dominated that first round. Second round, he forced a clinch, pushed him in the cage, took him down. It was like two different styles of fights each round. But it seems like he got a little bit tired in that second round, and he slowed down in the third, because then in the third round he was backing up and he was kind of going survival mode. So I don't know if it was the travel, the adjustments with that threw him off there. Not sure, but it was like three different fighters. Each round he was completely different. First round he was moving good, staying in the pocket and pressuring, moving forward, backing Silva up. Second round, closed the distance, got to the clinch, takes him down, beat him up on the ground a little bit. Third round, he's tired and he's being defensive, and he's making Silva chase him a little bit. So he's at least showing he's got depth. He's got a large range of ways he can fight. Oralby and Brenner. Oralby looked pretty tough. I mean, this fight, I think I was a little bit distracted on this, because I think, yeah, that's when I started driving. I kind of started driving at that time. I was able to watch the game and some of the fights at the same time, but then I had to get in the car and I wasn't able to watch the fights. Zach loves cats. Wide Koscheck want to burn AK to the ground. Ask me that later when I get done with the fights, and I'll give you my best explanation. Put it in a super chat, and I'll get to it at when I'm done with this stuff. But yeah, Oralby, you got the win there. He's like the McGowan looking dude. How many fights? This is his second fight. All right, it's the second fight for the UFC. Fought 2023 once. But yeah, I don't know. 13-1. We'll see. Lightweight. We'll see. All right, so next, yeah, I did not see the Shore Brito fight or the Kowalkiewicz. Man. Yeah, I didn't even get to hear him pronounce that name, so and brutalize it. And then we get into main card, and main card had some pretty good fights. There's some good things going on here, some interesting stuff going down. I enjoyed this main card. I did. I enjoyed it. Paul Craig, Cal Baralo. I like both these guys. Baralo's, I've seen all of his fights. I think, you know, he kind of came on the scene. He's been fighting hard at middleweight. He's a good addition. He can grapple. He can wrestle a little bit. He's got some striking. And the whole fighting art thing, I like the approach, not taking himself too seriously, having fun with it, but at the same time still doing work and beating people up. Paul Craig, hit me up, man. I'll help you with some wrestling. He needs a better way of getting in and closing the distance and getting the takedown. He was just not able to force the clinch or take the shot he needed to do the work he needed to do to win the fight. And that's a problem because, like, when the fewer tools you have to use in a fight, the easier it is to beat the guy, right? So if I'm fighting somebody and I know all they can do is strike, or all they can do is jiu-jitsu, like, it makes it easier. Okay, I'll just stay away from that thing. Well, Paul Craig's stand-up hasn't gotten good enough to be that dangerous by itself, you know? And so he still needs that ground. He can't force people into taking him down. He can't force them into the ground. His stand-up's not good enough to really put pressure on there. So he's kind of fish in a barrel. He's got to either figure out a way to easily get takedowns or force clinch without taking any damage, or he's gonna have to up that stand-up game big time because he's struggling right now. You know, guys know he's got those triangles, he's got those submissions from his back. So you're probably better off not taking him down. If you can beat him up in defense, cool. But, like, if you can keep a little bit of space and distance, like, that's a winnable fight if you box with him. Just do some box with him. And Craig's gotta mix that up. He's got to be more of a threat with those takedowns. Because when he becomes more of a threat with those takedowns, then the stand-up opens up even more. So the stand-up will get better because guys are more worried about getting taken down. The more worried that guy is of getting taken down, and the more apprehensive he is at taking chances and throwing things at you, the better off. The more chances you're going to have at throwing what you want to throw. Second time I fought Thiago Alves, I outstruck him. I was a better stand-up fighter than him that night because he's worried about the takedown. You do a lot of feints, a lot of stutter steps, get him thinking. Fox Wolf, are you a Oral-By fan? You're an Oral-By stan? Was that a good fight? I did have it on, and I could kind of hear the commentators. It sounded like it was a little bit back and forth because I was hearing a lot of the Burner's name doing good stuff too. So I just didn't get to sit and watch, make any mental notes because I was driving. I didn't want to wreck. Yeah, my mouse is loud. It was clicking. It was that clicking sound. But yeah, man. Kyle Baraldo is someone to keep an eye on. I think he's 6-0, 7-0 now. 7-0. It was funny. My girl was making fun. Was not making fun, but was joking. She thought his shirt was cool because it said 6-0 because he's 6-0 in the UFC now. Well, I was like, hey, I have shirts out there somewhere that were 8-0. I had 8-0 because I was 8-0 walking out to my 8th UFC fight, I believe, one before the GSP fight. So let's see. I have a 7-0 next fight, and maybe an 8-0. We'll see. Next fight, and this one was a little shocking and surprising, right? Michel Pereira and Ihor Potieria. this looked like it could have been a really good fight. And honestly, that Michel, man, he's always in good fights, right? He does wild stuff, crazy stuff. Um, he did the back flip stuff, lands on people. Like, people were all upset about him doing the backflip and landing and hitting him in the head, but he didn't. The knee hit him in the chest. And then everything else was glancing off of that. I don't know. What do you guys have a problem with the backflips? Do you guys care? I don't really care. I mean, if he does it and he lands on your head, yeah, then call it what it is. I don't think that foot, leg, knee landed in the head. It looked like it hit the chest from my perspective. But I don't know. Do you guys think that's too dangerous? I don't. I think remove the stomps, remove the knees to head on the ground restrictions. That's what really needs to happen. Is that really the argument you guys want to make? That people want to make? Hey, I don't want high flashy backflips in a fight. Oh, way too dangerous. Is that really the stance you're taking? Really? Come on, it's a fight. Let's let them do backflips and kick each other in the head. Let's do that. Let's do that, right? If Texas and California and these other states can sanction slap fighting, we can knee people in the head. We can soccer kick people. Get out. They do not care. Oh, safety. Oh, safety. My ass safety. Has nothing to do with safety at all. These people do not care about anyone's safety, brain damage, anything. Slap fighting exists. These people do not care. They do not care at all. Laugh in their faces loudly and deliberately every time they try to feint like they care about anyone's health or safety. Laugh hard at them. Very, very hard. Texas just passed the slap fighting. They didn't even look at any of the documentation or research done on what happens to the brain during the slap stuff. Nothing. They didn't even try to look into it. They didn't listen to anybody. Rob Macy, who has a license in California to practice law here, came to the California Athletic Commission meeting for slap fighting. They brought a whole bunch of documents on brain health and all this kind of studies showing how dangerous and horrible that slap fighting is. And they removed him from the record. They removed it. It's illegal, blatantly illegal. The California State Athletic Commission broke the law. They broke the law. Okay? These are the people who are supposed to keep us safe. Right? That's who's supposed to be keeping us safe. They removed all of the research, all the stuff. It's not in this, whatever. You go back and read the notes from the meeting. It's not there. It's not there. Like it never happened. Like it never happened. Fox Wolf, you're correct. Bare knuckle fighting is the safest. It has the least amount, get this, the least amount of handbrakes compared to boxing and MMA. Now, I am a little confused with that number because I don't know if that is just sheer volume or if it's percentage. I don't know. I didn't see that part. I did see that there's more breaks in boxing and MMA than bare knuckle. Could be that there's less events or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's less handbrakes. There's less brain damage, less CTE. You have less sustained concussions. It's better. It's better. Bare knuckle punching is better than that. And slap fighting is just not good for anybody because you're letting somebody hit you in the face as hard as they can. Instant brain damage. And Texas doesn't give a shit. California doesn't give a shit. They'll cover it up. They'll erase it. They'll erase all the info about how much brain damage it gives people. They'll throw it out. Oh, shh. We have money to make. Forget people's brains. They signed the contract. Read the contract. Retards. Oh. This is all water. Not drinking the Grolsch tonight. Pretty boy saying it's hard to not wrestle a wrestler in a fight than it is to not strike a striker from my experience. Yeah. That's a good call, because if the wrestler keeps pushing the pace and trying to wrestle you, like you're gonna have to wrestle him because that's the only way to stop him from wrestling you is to wrestle better than him and stop him. So yeah, that's 100%. I get that. Chris V, that's funny. He's saying it was ironic. Yeah, people getting bent out of shape over the backflip, right? It was ironic because they just showed Shogun's highlights 5 minutes before, and he was soccer kicking people for the entire highlight video. Yeah, he was kneeing people in the head on the ground, soccer kicking people. Like, standing ovation. I don't know, man. I think it's just stupid. I think it's stupid. Why couldn't you? And my belief, my deep-seated belief is that it just has to do because I think it favors wrestlers more to allow those things. That's I think the added takedown defense that the striker gets to knee the head on a down opponent isn't as great as the advantage that a wrestler gets being able to pass guard and knee your head in the fence. Or get north-south side control. a lot of different things going on. I think it definitely favors the grappler more to be able to knee and soccer kick. Just saying. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's test it. Let's remove the restrictions. Let's let it happen and see. I don't think they should bring back pride rules, Chris, because pride does not allow elbows. I think we need elbows. I think we need soccer kicks. I think we need knees to the head on the ground. But I'd also like to see a ring and a cage. I'd like to see both. I'd like to see a ring title and a cage title. Why? Why can't I? Why can't I? Why shouldn't we be able to see it? Hamza Amir saying wrestlers and Brazilians. Yeah, Brazilians do have an affinity for soccer kicks and head stomps and knees to the head. Got some bugs out here. Oh, all right, but that's Risen allows elbows. I haven't seen a Risen in forever though. Okay, so Pereira beats Ihor. I haven't seen Ihor fight. I don't know if what's his UFC. Yeah, he fought a couple times. Yeah, he's lost. See so light heavyweight. Yeah, he's got a loss in 2022. He's got 2 losses, 23, and he beat Mauricio Hua. He beat Shogun. Okay, he beat Shogun at light heavyweight. He didn't look that big, man. Is that right? Wild. 283, huh? Knocked him out. I did not remember that fight. And then Pereira, he drops down to middleweight. Pereira made quick work of him. You know, he did the backflip thing and then was able to get to that choke and finish that fight off really quick. 54 seconds. Puts Ihor away. And Pereira, he's fun to watch, but what do you do with him? He's so wild. I don't know. Does he beat the top 5 guys? You know, I think he competes. I think he can compete really well with top 10ers, but at the same time, he's so loose with some of his stuff. I don't know. Does he compete? Does he compete with the top 5? I'm not sure. And then Anthony Smith. Who usually this is the one where they throw the wrench in. Usually he's there to get beat up by somebody they're trying to build up, right? Or they need somebody to take the fight to push somebody. He's been a punching bag a number of times over the years. But he pulls off a submission round 2. I don't know what happened with Vitor here. They've been pushing this Vitor guy for a minute. But I mean, I get it. I understand why he fought Pedro last time. Tyson Pedro was talking about the money stuff. And that's it's his second fight. He comes in. Is this the second fight with them? No. He's got the other fights. Turkalj, Prachnio he beat. Bukakis beat also. Pedro, and he loses to Smith. But yeah, they needed some fresh blood, light heavyweight, and they were pushing this guy. But Anthony Smith comes and derails him, puts himself in a good position to win. But then what's up with the UFC? What do they do now? Because this guy they're trying to build is now 11-1, and he just lost to Smith, who's had lots of opportunities to fight for titles and stuff. It's going to be tough at this. Put himself behind a hard spot. He's going to have to do some big things to get people's attention, to get him in the big fights. Maybe. Co-main event. Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo was just remarkable. Jose Aldo looked great. Jose was always the most dangerous when he was throwing a lot of leg kicks. I think he was doing a great job today, last night. Anytime Martinez switched orthodox, he would beat that right lead leg. So Martinez had to keep that southpaw stance a lot of the fight, so that Jose was not as easily able to kick that lead leg. But that's when Jose's dangerous, and that's when he wins fights, is when he's kicking. When he's kicking a lot, on the legs, moving a lot. Man, what a monster Jose Aldo is still. I was just thinking the other day about, man, it's 2024. It's been 10 years. I've been out of the UFC 11 years. Jesus. Jose Aldo. I'm looking at some of these guys. Some of these guys I'm still thinking are kids, but they're like 35, almost 40. Man, Father Time is undefeated. He's the only truly undefeated fighter. But Jose Aldo looking good. He looked good. He performed really, really well. Martinez, he's a tough fighter. I don't know if he got kind of stuck deer in headlights, fighting one of his heroes, or Jose just rose to the occasion and showed everybody why he's Jose Aldo. He got a fight. He got a fight in Rio. He's the king of Rio, and he delivered. He looked good. Main event: Alexander Pantoja and Steve Erceg. And I really was excited about this fight, and I liked this fight. It was a good fight. This is a great fight. Yeah. Is that was that the back arch where he tried to throw the guy when he was on top of him? That was I don't know. Sorry, I'm going through you guys' comments. Bastard of the Sun says, no, just no eye gouging, biting, and low blows. Yeah, I'm good with that, man. You know, you like the finger stuff. Risen started doing bare knuckle fights. Ooh. We might have to start sending me links of those. Hamzamir. Yeah, one championship allows knees to the head on the grounded opponent, but they haven't been doing many. They don't think they allow elbows. They do the weird weight cut thing, and then they haven't been doing a lot of MMA shows lately. Thank you very much, Paul. Paul from the Come On Man podcast. We do our show on Sundays, Rule Zero. He's part of our group there. He's saying, "Did you watch Backlash? Cody retained." Kidding. I know you didn't. Just showing support. Paul is a big pro wrestling fan, and I like to tease him because pro wrestling is very homosexual. It's about the same as putting a penis in your mouth. It's close. It's close. And then there's the I'll star the Koscheck one. We'll get to that later. Okay, so Pantoja and Usyk. I like both these guys. They're humble. They're seem like rational, good people, family people. They're not doing anything clown showy in any way. They don't remind me of Instagram models. You know, they seem very grateful for getting a chance to fight and do good things and take care of their families. And I like both these guys. These guys are just good, seem like good people, the kind of people you would want your kids to like look up to and see as athletes. You know, they look like solid guys. And they're both solid fighters. I think Alexander Pantoja has got good stand up. He's got pretty good wrestling. He's got some ground to work with, and he's tough all around. Usyk, I love watching Usyk fight because it's like he's a grappler, but he almost comes around like I thought that he was a boxer. Like maybe he started as a boxer, but he didn't. He started as a grappler, and then his stand up has gotten pretty good. He's pretty big and long, and sometimes longer guys are deceptive with their speed or like the timing of how long it takes things to get to where they get. And then his size, his length helps him in the grappling because that leverage is different. But he's tough, and he hasn't had that many UFC, so he's 12-2. Like he's still pretty green, right? He's got the win over Schnell, win over Costa, so win over Dvorak. That's it, right? So he's got 1, 2, 3. This was his fourth UFC fight. His fourth fight, he got a title shot. Now, I don't mind that this fight happened right now, but I'm wondering, like, why? Why did this happen right now? You know, why, and you know, why is the number 10 guy getting pushed all the way to the front? They didn't have anybody else. There was nobody else. Okay, this is the 125-pound belt, right? There's no like, they're that short on fighters at that weight class. They don't have anybody. That seems a little alarming, isn't it, to somebody at all? Has that ever happened in boxing where they're like, hey, well, shit, like we got to find somebody to fight this guy. Let's get the number 10. There's nobody higher up. Was everybody sick or injured? Not available? Zach Loves Cats says the fight reinstated the fact that it should have been Mokaev that got the title shot. Longer win streak, and Usyk showed he was too inexperienced to fight for the title. He has only 3 UFC wins. It was sad. Pantoja had to plead with people not to leave the arena. Was that's what he did at the end of the fight? He asked people not to leave. Man. Yeah, like Mokaev probably, because that's what bothers me too. It's because Usyk's good. Like he's somebody who could be champion and maybe hold on to the belt for a little bit if he was, guided along the path a little bit, given some experience. Because him not even having a main event, never doing a main event before, and then never having a 25-minute fight before, and the first time he's thrown into a pay-per-view title shot. That's a lot. It's a lot for a guy who doesn't have much experience. His third fight in the UFC. He's fighting undercards, and nobody really sees or knows who he is, and they're throwing him out into this huge thing. Definitely, probably should have been Mokaev. Just because it would have given Usyk more time to develop, and then maybe we get a better fight out of him and Pantoja in a year or a year and a half. Just saying. Gloy in the chat. What's up? It says, Coach, planning to increase intensity in sparring sessions. Tactical sparring is safe, but lack real fight readiness. This may help me prevent slow starts, being gun shy. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. When you are doing your hard sparring, your hard fight training, like it's supposed to be like 95%. You're trying to mimic the fight as much as possible. Like technique sparring is good, and your majority of your sparring should be technique sparring. But every once in a while, even if it's just once a week, that's okay. If you have one hard session once a week where it's like, okay, it's go time. We're going full speed. You got to have your coaches in there paying attention to stop things and hold things up when things get unsafe or somebody might get hurt a little bit. But like, yeah, you gotta kind of mimic the fight. The more experience, the more fights you get, though, the less hard sparring you need. Oh, I know the Brazilian fans can be a little wild there. Zach Loves Cats. I fought down there, and I got the Rocky treatment because they were saying the bad stuff before, but then the fight started happening, and by the end of the fight, third round, I had the stadium chanting for me in Brazil. They're chanting for me. They're chanting Fitch, chanting my name. Yes. Yep. That was me. So yeah, man, Usyk is a really good fighter. I like Pantoja. I was sad that these guys kind of had to fight right now at this point. I think Usyk needed more experience. I don't know why they're punishing Mokaev because he's a grappler. We don't like that because we have to rig the sport to get the fights that we want or something. We have to rig it, it's not fight fixing, but we can prevent the fights that need to happen from happening just because we say so. And then that's the fights. That's the UFC. So let's get into the Canelo stuff. All right, we get into the Canelo stuff. Let's go here. What's that? There was one other. I see it. I can put it back up. Put it up there. Okay. Zach Loves Cat says, "Why did Koscheck want to burn AKA to the ground?" Koscheck said he wanted to burn the AKA to the ground because he was dissatisfied with Javier and Javier's handling of the gym and things. Around that time period, there was a lot of things going on. One was there was a fallout between Dave Camarillo and Javier because Dave left to start his own gym and was trying to do both things, and that got messy. So, we lost one of our top coaches from that ordeal. We moved to a new location, and you know, for some of the guys, the new location wasn't good. People they just didn't like it. It wasn't a nice building compared to the other one we thought, and you know, the other one was much smaller, but it was more intimate, and like I don't know, it was just a lot of things were done that not everybody agreed on. So I think that also got him pretty unhappy with Javier. And then Javier was making a lot of decisions on his own without talking to the fighters' management, you know. And then Koscheck wasn't really happy with that. So it was basically just, you know, there's a bunch of different people, a bunch of moving gears. Not everybody could see eye to eye. And Koscheck was not happy with the way that Javier dealt with things. That's the long or the short story, short version. Yeah. All right. Now we're going to get into Canelo Munguia, and they're doing the announcements. They're walking out, and I'm thinking, man, this Munguia guy looks big. He looked pretty big. He looked taller, looked thicker. He looked like a big young killer, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the one that Canelo might lose this fight because, you know, he lost the other guy, the Bivat or whatever his name, Polvat, or I can't remember his name, but he lost to that one guy, right, a couple years ago or a year or so ago. But he was big. He moved up a weight class, and that guy was big. And I was like, okay, well, what else? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so Canelo, you know, he's getting a little bit older. They had a lot of drama between him and Oscar De La Hoya this week, talking smack back and forth. And you know, I was thinking, you know, maybe he might not win this one, because the second round, it looked like Munguia was starting pretty fast, looking good, was throwing a lot of punches. He had a lot more output. But Alvarez did a really good job defensively. He made him miss. He was moving. He was shelled up. And you can kind of tell, you know, either I was like, oh, one of two things is happening. Either Canelo's getting his ass handed to him, and it's just the snowball's starting to build to roll downhill, or he's sizing him up. He's sizing him up. And this kind of carried on until fourth round. And then fourth round, Canelo opens up with the uppercut hook, knocks him down. And then from that moment on, Canelo just kept kind of pouring on more punches. And, you know, I think he convincingly won that fight. But at the same time, even though he convincingly won that fight, he was getting hit. He was getting hit. And I think he was getting hit more than he usually gets hit. I think he is slowing down a little bit. I think Canelo is slowing down a little bit. I think some of those shots maybe stung him more than shots in the past have. But Canelo was able to make him miss and counter often. Canelo does this great thing. He plays the in and out game, this peekaboo game, where he's coming in and making you miss and then returning. You know, I didn't even see him take a lot of angles. You know, Lomachenko makes a lot of angles. He dances around you, where Canelo is peekaboo, in and out, touching his foot on that hot plate and stepping off, pop, 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 and then makes you miss and then can counter from that. It's really nice. And that in and out motion of fighting, it kind of reminded me of one of my old favorites, right? One of my old favorites. And I got one of those fights out to, I started looking him up, but Emmanuel Augustus, right? He changed his name to Augustus later. It was like Emmanuel Bernard or something like that before. But he was crazy good. Crazy good. I love this guy. And like the thing with him is he had a lot of bad luck. Promoters didn't like him. The judges hated him because the way he fought, he kind of, they say he's like disrespectful of boxing because he's kind of dancing and he's doing all this stuff. But he's like the Matrix, man. Like, I'm gonna show a little clip of this documentary I found. And it's really done well. Documentary. It's only like 35, 40 minutes long. I'm gonna put the link in the chat even, because you guys might want to see it on your own, or just to give the whoever made it some credit too, because they did a good job. But this is great. This is a guy who I'm a huge fan of, and his style. I used to watch him back. ESPN used to have their fight night stuff on all the time. I'm pretty sure I saw him fight Floyd Mayweather. Then I watched his fight with Floyd. He's got highlights of it in this. You know, he fought Mickey Ward. He's had like crazy number of fights. Let's get it going. I'm not gonna have the sound on. I'm just gonna, maybe I can turn a little bit. No, because the music. But Manuel Augustus. And I man, like these guys like are my heroes. These are the guys, like the guys that are there just to fight. Like it's not about the show. It's not about all the whatever crap. Like he cared more about going in there and having fun fighting than he did about all the other stuff. He didn't even care about titles or belts. He was just wild. The things he could do. Many guys missed. And he'd get frustrated because, you know, he was always the opponent. He was never somebody they were sizing to be somebody. The judges always went against him. Oh, maybe I should show this little piece of him talking. Let's see what he says here.
Because they can't stop me from acting a fool. Now, you want me to start fighting serious, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the time when I choose a clown, you know, what you gonna do? You gonna let me do it and then run into something? Or you gonna wait, you know, it's in the air. Whatever happened, happened. But I'm gonna have fun with it, and I enjoy doing what I do.
Oh, get out of here, you stupid ad. Sorry, guys. He's just, if you guys don't know about the Drunken Master, like, I don't know, like these are the guys that it breaks my heart that they're not rich, that these guys don't have money. That some YouTube punk somewhere is flying on a private jet and whatever shit because he talked about Pokemon cards or some crap. And guys like this are broken and broke, and a lot of people don't even know about them. I hate that. I hate that about life, man. I hate that about life. You know, he threw the double punch. You guys see the double punch? He's just amazing. If you guys don't know, spend an afternoon just watching as many of his fights as you can. I wanna stop and hear what he's saying.
Because this guy being ranked number 4, it's been hard for me to hurt him, so to speak. You know, those challenges, or those top ranked guys, top ranked fighters. After tonight, I will show the world that I am top grade A material with the win. This last minute stuff is really bothering me. I'm really getting sick of it, to be honest with you, because they don't call me to win. They call me to lose. But they calling me because they're going to lose this one here tonight.
Yeah, he was the guy they called up to lose. Fat boxing fans love him. Like he's amazing. Yeah, Roy Jones Jr. was fun to watch too. But to me, like Augustus, he had this rhythm and style to him that wasn't like a natural born thing. Like Roy Jones Jr. was just fast. He was a phenomenal athlete. And I think like any sport he put himself into, he probably would have been pretty damn good at. And Roy started sliding when he started aging because he started slowing down a little bit. I don't think Augustus ever slowed down, except after he got in 2014, he got shot. He got caught with a stray bullet in the dome, and like that slowed him down. That slowed him down, but I don't think his age did. I still follow his Instagram, and he still can move a little bit. He's not doing what he used to do, but man, just super fun to watch, guys. He's super fun. Check him out, Emmanuel Augustus. You'll never regret it. Grant Baker saying the Mickey Ward fight is how I learned of Augustus. That's a crazy fight too. Like, yeah, Gotti and Ward had a crazy fight. Watch that fight too. Watch the fight with Emmanuel Augustus, dude. Like that was amazing. Like I'm still kind of awestruck. I watched that Mickey Ward and Arturo Gotti fight, the number one, the first one, again today. And it may have been, I don't know how long since the last time I've seen it. 10 years, 15 years. But like that's wow. Round nine. If you don't do anything else, watch round 9 of Mickey Ward and Gotti. Watch round 9 of that fight. Holy balls. Right? That was like this guy's winning, now this guy's winning, like the ebb and flow. That was wild. James Toney was awesome. Yeah, I like watching James Toney. That was good. Man, make sure I didn't skip any of the super chats. Paul got that one. Coach Gloy. Let me back up. All right, I got those. All right, guys. Nice. Joe Calzaghe, that was great too. He was tough. He was fun to watch. Ricky Hatton, one of those guys back in the day. But yeah, there's a lot of good fights. I'm gonna be busting out some old. We can watch some Duran, Roberto Duran fights and stuff like that. These kids need to be cultured. They need to be cultured. You know, they want to sit and watch videos of Pokemans fighting, and I'm like, hey, how about we watch Human Man's fight? Yeah, Joe Calzaghe, 48-0. But that's it's the fickle fight world. The promoters, when they don't want to give somebody love, they don't. Tubi's got boxing. Yeah. Top ranks on Tubi. Nice. Yeah, that's the big problem today is how hard it is to like find everything. Like everything's on different apps and different platforms. So you're paying $500 a month to be able to watch everything. Or you just have to like sacrifice and only watch a handful of fights and whatever. It's weird, man. I don't know how to solve that problem. But that's the problem that needs to be solved. Is if we can get all of the promoters and sanctioning bodies and athletes and broadcasting companies, if they all somehow get them in one thing, so we can all just watch it in one place, get them all to hold hands, work together. Tubi's got BKFC on it. They're showing free stuff on Tubi, free fights. Is it the undercard free stuff? Nice. But yeah. So what else we got? So that's the thing. That's all the fights. Next fight night is on the 11th. Derek Lewis is back. We'll have to check that out. Looks like there's some fights Worth watching. Hooper's back. McKinney's back. All right, well, we'll be watching that. Let's let me share this. All right, guys. So if you guys haven't done it yet, go to Gum Road, right? Go to Gum Road. I'll put the link. Bump, bump, bump. Here, I put them both. All right. So yeah, guys, check out. I got programs, guys. I got programs. I got the Fitch SMASH Strength and Fitness Package, self-defense, Fitch Strength, right? We've got lots of programs from losing your weight, fixing your neck, self-defense, hand fighting seminar, wrestling for BJJ. I've got a bunch of stuff on my Gum Road, all right? Texarkana seminar is a thread, double leg to pass and guard to the smash. I mean, getting to the smash position. 12-minute bike, cardio course. I got my meal plan. All right. I've got more stuff in the pipe that I'm editing and putting together. Resistance band course, get jacked with your rubber bands, right? I have recently reduced prices a little bit. I want you guys to be able to get in shape. I want you guys to be able to get strong, get that fighter body, and learn how to take care of yourself. All right. So I got more programs coming down the pipe, and these will be up here for you too. So check out the Gum Road. Check out the courses. Right. I also am doing online coaching. Okay, so Coach Gloy is in the chat. I send him programs. I send him the stuff to work on. He takes as long as he needs to drill it, get it down. He'll film himself doing it. I can check off on it. Be like, thumbs up, you got that one. And we can progress to the next lesson. Also, I help him with his fights and his competitions. He can take videos of him training, videos of his actual fights. I've done a couple breakdowns. He has 2 amateur fights where I watch the fights back. I do a breakdown, minute by minute, telling him what he should be doing, what he could be doing, all that stuff. And then, I'll send him some videos here and there for stuff to work on, based off of those videos, reviews, right? So if you're interested in a little online coaching, if you want to get some extra info, some extra help, reach out. I'm available. Coach Gloy, right, is saying I'm the best. What more you need? All right. So you guys, reach out, send me DMs, ask about what's up. I'm working on the Fitch SMASH system and stuff, so it's a little bit cheaper. It's a lot cheaper right now than it's going to be when it's done, because when it's done, I'll be opening it up to way more people. It'll be a lot harder to be as personable with each person, but I'm working on it. I'm getting there. If you guys are interested in learning, getting some extra input with your fighting, your self-defense, your fitness, let me know. Frank Gotch doc on Tubi, people should watch. Yeah, send me that. You sent me that link of all the like hard to find fight videos and stuff. I gotta sit down on my computer one day and open up OBS and see what fights I can find and make copies. Because that's one of the things that we're at risk of, which sucks, is that, you know, a company like UFC controls all of those videos and all those fights. They own it. Fighters have no access to it, no say over it. It's gone. We sign it away forever. You know, NFL Films is owned by the Players Association. So at least NFL players get some say on like things they can do with the fight, their videos after the thing. And yeah. Am I living in Texas now? No, I'm not. I'm still in California. I'm looking to escape though. There it is, Hamza Mir, mvk.com. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, like it's the thing is like UFCs can hide fights. They can just be like, take your fights down and act like you never existed. You know, even like the guys who fought in Pride, like they could like erase the Pride guys from existence just because we don't like this guy. let's make his fights impossible for anybody to see ever. It's crazy. Yeah, that's the thing too. I bet they edit a lot of the audio and stuff on those fights. I bet they add boos, they add cheers. It's all fake pro wrestling nonsense. That's the link. The Frank Gotch. Still old wrestler, right? Yeah. I took down War Machine's fights, and yeah, man. It's wild. It's wild. All right, guys. Yeah, I didn't do loose change this last Wednesday because I was teaching, and I didn't want to start the stream at 10. I guess I got back late, and I was like, tired and sweaty, and I really didn't want to go to bed late. I didn't think anybody would be up before it anyway. So if that happens again, I may try to do one earlier. Try to do it earlier in the day. We'll see. But that was what is this you sent? What was this one? What was this fight you sent? Wild. It's like he's in a gym. Sorry, I'm watching this link Hamzamir sent. What is that from? Challenge of Champions, bare knuckle. What year was that from? Take a screenshot link and save it. Oh man, okay. It's 1995. Yeah, there's such a history, and that's man. There's this guy I should probably try to get on a show. He's sending some messages, but I couldn't tell if he's just crazy or what. But there's a history to the sport that most people don't know and will never know, and it's not the one that UFC tells you. It's not. There's a lot of dirty backstabbing and theft that went along in those 90s and early 2000 to get the Fertitas in the door in the first place. Pretty sure they stole the cage idea. They've bullied and forced a lot of stuff in the time frame that they've been around. BJJ is catch wrestling. Yeah, but they wear the uniform though. Yeah, the cage was used before they owned it. Yeah, Tank. I saw some of the highlights of Tank's interview on Quentin Rampage's show. I almost didn't even recognize who that was, but it's because he's kind of in shape. I thought Tank Abbott was gonna get big, huge, and super fat, but like he didn't look that terrible. All right, guys. I think we're good. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Have a good week. I think I'll be back Wednesday talking about some stuff, whatever's happening, whatever I missed, it needs to be talked about. But yeah, guys, I'll check you later.